you know, well, what's the word, John? They're too stiff. There's too many. There's no fun on Twitter. It's not like Facebook where you put up all the stupid memes and all that crap. You know, don't take Twitter too seriously. Just don't. It's not good for your mental health. Trust us. We've been there long enough now. Let me tell you, it's not good.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. What is good for our mental health is some Dota 2 though, Mike, although maybe not
very
really.
funny, John.
But we've got the match lined up. We've got the draft coming out, of course, as mentioned. Patriots up against Polaris, and Patriots has been looking great. I think they've been building off the backbone of like this Jacroy CK that comes out every time. Of course, CK has been slightly nerfed, but it's still a strong pick overall. Maybe a bit slower on, say, Roshan because they nerfed that, and cast range on Chaos Bolt with the Shard isn't as far, cut down in half for the bonus range. Still pretty damn good. So I think Patriots can still try to slide that in if it's not banned. And with the initial pickups, Patriots already have the Pugna Kunkka, so they have this really durable lineup that can just get life drained up with the boat buff. I'm actually curious, does boat buff reduce the HP cost on Pugna when he life drains?
Well, hold on.
It feels like it should, as it's damage taken. Maybe. Well,
Yeah,
technically, no. It's HP removal. Maybe it doesn't.
I mean, that makes more sense though if it's HP removal, isn't it? Like, because you're removing your own HP.
Because, well, like Rum's condition is like damage reduction. So HP removal technically isn't damage, right? It's one of those edge cases where it doesn't count. So maybe it's not that great, but I would love to see it. So I'm keen to see how much Patriots can get it done. Of course, they love their Pugna pick as well. For Polaris, they go into the Mars that we know Nevermind has executed at a very high level, and they go pick up the Snapfire as well. So they've got a very solid combination already on the offlane. Double stuns, cookie, spear action going on here, and it can be really aggressive. I am keen to see how else both sides build around this draft, because we're still seeing that CK left in, and Patriots will always pick it up if they can. Like, they banned out the Timbersaw, signaling that they want another strength core. So I wouldn't be surprised if Patriots pick it up, and if Polaris let it through, they ban Monkey King instead. So CK is still an option. Polaris will pick up the Clockwork here, which we've seen be a little bit up and down, but when it looks good, it looks really good. And cutting off these fights and having that initiation, you have a lot of ways of reaching into the backline here from Polaris. Blink from the Mars, you've got the Snapfire Clockwork combo, Hook Shot into Cog's Kisses is really good as well. So I'm liking that aggression coming out from Polaris. I still worry about the CK pick. I think Patriots have a really clear shot of just picking another support and then taking the CK along here and just having this really big dual strength core. And that just gets massive when the boat buff is on. How do you kill off the CK? You don't have the biggest burst damage here.
Absolutely not. Gotta give a shout out while we have a chance, John. I just saw someone give us a compliment in the chat saying we're like a bag of Doritos, an assorted bag of Doritos, spicy and cool. Thank you for that. I should shout out the name actually. Who was it? Vienjativa is. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but thank you for the compliment. That's the first time I've ever been referred to as a assorted bag of Doritos, you and I, John. So there you go. We're, a very American compliment. I wanna say, but you never know where they're from. Still, Earth Spirit comes out, which I don't have a great segue for this, Jonathan. Earth Spirit's not cool and spicy right now. It's actually quite dull and void of any kind of emotion. This hero just never gets anything. We saw it the other day in the mid lane, and you were harping on about how great Earth Spirit mid is. Blah blah. Look at all the scaling with the bonus HP, the bonus strength. Get the hell out of here, John. I'm an Earth Spirit spammer. When I tell you Earth Spirit's not good, you listen. You keep your damn mouth shut and you listen to what I'm saying, Jonathan. Because I'm struggling out there. I want my boy back.
100% strength on Boulder. Yeah, that's fun. That's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's a bonus 100 damage plus 30. It's a lot of damage to scale up there, Mike. So Earth Spirit comes out. Surprised that they do go for the Razor here on Patriots, and so not going with the CK yet. They've still got some flux. You could run something like the offlane Razor for the lull, and still try to go for that CK for Jacroy if he feels comfy into it. And the Razor does have a decent time against a lot of these cores that Natsumi likes to run. PA is not going to enjoy that. She's going to have to save her Blink Strike for a defensive use if she wants that. The Morphling is still a really good option though. So Razor's Bite is kind of taken out. You don't get as much value from your static link. You do have the X back on Patriots to play with. And you've got the Earth Spirit Sounds, which can be devastating too if you land a combination. So I think there are still ways for Patriots to handle that Morphling, at least in laning. As the game scales on, if you don't manage to catch him from Fog, it does feel like Natsumi should be able to do what he wants and just, zip out, start doing some damage, and just survive. So, looking like a good game for Natsumi here. I am keen to see what they will take mid now for Lelouch. Seeing that, it's likely a Kunkka mid coming out here. Gonna have to counteract that some way. Key options left for Lelouch. I believe Leshrac is still in the pool, so they could just go into that. And again, they ban out Doom and Faces Void, so they are expecting a little bit of flex on the Razor. I'd say just go for the CK. It might be a little bit awkward into Morphling, but Jacroy loves it. And there have been games where we doubt that CK pick. It still works out. It could still be good here.
Certainly could be. The final pickup here for Patriots. Can't wait to see where they go. I mean, it's a very early kind of draft. Maybe an off-lane pick to come out. Maybe even a mid lane if you want to throw the Razor or Kunkka off-lane. Maybe even a safe lane. Very flexible here for Patriots. It does seem like Polaris, a bit of a mix here, banning out the Doom, banning out the Void, so not 100% sure where Patriots are going with this final pickup. Still about 10 seconds of reserve time left to think about this one. I feel like you just kind of go with it. Just go full all-in, early game style lineup and just try to push down towers ASAP. They are going to go down the troll route, which is one way to do it. So they'll go down the troll. This hero has not felt good whatsoever. I think you've got great kiting potential as well. Like, you've got Mars Spear pushback, you've got Cogs pushback, It just feels like this troll might just get kited the whole game. Polaris Esports, though, one more pick for them. They do require something in the mid lane. Anything that kind of tickles your fancy here, Jonathan?
And Polaris still has the Lelouch Lesh if they want it. Up against Kunkka, matchup can be a bit dicey. We've seen Kunkka kind of win out, but Leshrac can also bully out a melee matchup with Split Earth and Lightning. So you still have some good harassment there. You will have to worry about the Earth Spirit rotation. I think that's the one thing Patriots can always leverage. They have really good rotations into mid with Kunkka plus Earth Spirit. And that is something to watch out for, but I wouldn't mind something like that for Lelouch. There are some interesting options as well. Like, Lelouch could try something like a Bat Rider. You could jump onto Kunkka, onto Troll, melt them down quick. Could get punished by the Pugman Nether War, though, with your spell spamming, so it might not be the comfiest. Perhaps a Lesh feels really good here. Otherwise, maybe something jumpy to follow through from your Moors. Quap could be an option. Lanes decently against Kunkka as well, although again, we've seen Kunkka kind of win that one out just off the back of Tidebringer. You've got greedier options like Lina. That could be one way. You could get some good scaling from your Morph and your Lina. It's just that they will eat into each other's farm a bit. Lina's going to need like travels into BKB, into usually a Silver Edge, so that does take some time to build up, but you can play with your burst potential early on. And that is one way to kind of try to get the burst onto something beefy like the Kunkka. So something magical. They will go with a Shadow Demon instead. So a mid Snapfire for Lelouch. Not the biggest fan. We still see mid snaps come out here and then. It is up against a melee matchup in Kunkka, so you can kind of handle that lane, play with the Scatterblast, play with a Cookie really well. But it does feel like mid snap has lost a little bit of his spite. Like, Scatterblast was nerfed a few patches ago, and the Spring Cleaning patch took away the self-spit. So melee heroes can just run back up to you now. You have good ways to cancel here from Patriots. With the Earth Spirit, even the X back on the Kunkka.
I could have sworn there was a way to still do it if you target your hero portrait.
No,
but I think that
tried. Yeah, no. That was cleaned up. Like, immediately after Spring Cleaning, I played a game where I ran mid because I told my team, hey, they picked Ember, I can handle that. And it turns out I can't, because when I hit my 6 spike, he just ran up to me. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And at least the method I know that Hyde was using doesn't work. Maybe there's another way, but I was just copying Hyde and didn't quite work out. So there are ways for Mom Guy to handle lane. Snapfire should still have a good time despite that. I think overall, it does look rather even draft. I do worry about how much the Morphling can get out because of your lack of hard stuns. Like, there is a lot reliant here on the Earth Spirit to get a good silence and roll in, just to prevent that Strength Morph. If Natsumi does manage to Strength Morph up, if your Troll's not on top of that Morphling getting the roots off, and then he can just work the backline. He can just waveform around, look for those kills, and he does do a lot of damage. So a little bit back and forth. I would lean towards Patriots just slightly, but the win condition for Polaris isn't too bad.
You should run.
Forgot to mention, of course, MLPDotA Conquer, Jonathan. Something that I keep bringing up every time we see it. Very, very happy to see that coming out, but let's see how the draft goes. I'm with you on the Snapfire, by the way. Don't know how to feel about it. You know, it's one of those things. Like, if it's not Yopash playing mid-snap, I already kind of doubt it as it is, and with the changes that have been made, you know, it's kind of rough. MLPDotA Conquer is what you're going to have to go up against as well as this mid-Snapfire. Not very fun. Should be a lot of rotations to come out as well, right? Like, you've got an Earth Spirit, LYM, should be able to rotate mid very effectively onto the snap. Once you get a few levels up on MLPDotA, should be a very easy kill attempt to try and go for. Of course, Nevermind on that Mars here for the side of Polaris, and we were giving massive props to Nevermind last night, John. Sure, you remember his performance in that best of 2 he had. It's fantastic, and I'm looking forward to seeing if Nevermind can run it back and do it all over again.
Yeah, I want to see him perform. I want to see him to hit that blink timing, just be aggressive. It feels like today's been the day of offlaners. You know, Mizu's had a great time in the first series. Hoping to see Nevermind carry through here. Is we do see a little bit of an engagement for bounties. No one really trading sides. Xavius doesn't press the issue, so not gonna run forward and gonna try his luck. You will see getting the lane spread out here. Mike taking a look top for his Lull on that Razor along with LYM on the Earth Spirit. So you do have some ways to play here pretty nicely with a static link. Stun, kickback to keep that link going. Up against a Troll, it's going to be pretty tough. Up against a Morphling, I mean, my bad. The Morphling can kind of get out with a waveform, but until level 3, it does feel like a bit of a dicey lane. The Lull could also just focus down Xavius and just sap away from him. So you have pretty good choices here on the Razor to just kind of build up and just focus on that CS. Natsumi not going to be pressured too hard as long as he watches steps, but easier said than done. Again, once that static link is out, without the waveform, very easy to punish.
You're going to see Xavius try to punish them back, but it can be a little bit awkward into the Razor, who just stole a bunch of damage away. So Xavius going to cop quite a bit of harassment, and it certainly isn't the greatest lane in the world for the Clockwork, that's for sure. I mean, obviously, it tends to be very good against the Earth Spirit. It's very annoying for the ES to try and play against Clock, but in the laning stage, you don't really care so much. You know, especially when you've got a Razor core that you can play with. The Clockwork's not going to bother you. Still mid lane, of course, Lelouch going to be there against MLPDotA. This is the lane that you and I were very unsure about for Polaris, but Lelouch, at least for now, is off to a fantastic start on the Snapfire, and even with that level 1 Scatterblast, you can secure a CS very effectively. At what point do you think MLPDotA might start to have the advantage in this mid lane, John?
I'd say level 4 with level 2 Tidebringer, it starts to feel a little bit more manageable for the Kunkka. You're still not in a favorable matchup. Melee here against Core Snap is always oppressive with a Scatterblast, so that is something to watch out for here. From the Snap, I think Rune Control is going to be very big. If you get the value point in X, you can always stop Lelouch from trying to make a play. And again, you have to watch for the support rotations. If there is room here for LYM to rotate, there's a lot of kill that can happen.
Oh, never mind. He's going to survive. Top lane's where the first blood happens. Xavius is the one to drop, and I suppose he probably just moved in as the Clockwork and ended up dying to the Razor. So first blood at top lane here for Patriots. Bot lane, I mean, I was watching Nevermind, who was dropping extremely low, but does manage to barely survive with the stick charges.
Yeah, it's a pretty back and forth lane. Troll can kind of hold his own. He doesn't care too much about these big beefy cores. Does not have the fervor up. Is able to manage the creep wave really well. I think you have to consider the Pugna in this lane a lot. Like, the presence of the Shadow Demon's kind of taken away just by Meta Ward punishing spell spam.
He's having such a rough time. Delol has gone too far though. Natsumi going to be able to punish on the Morphling, and Xavius will be able to salve himself up. So the Clockwork this time around is going to survive and maybe even go for a bit of a chase here onto LYM. While they're doing so, just looking for the salve cancellation, but LYM just going to roll back towards the fountain anyway. We'll hold on to the salve for now as bot lane, never mind. Going to be in trouble again. Jacroy in UK going to chase him down. No lucky ensnares coming out here for Jacroy though. So not going to be able to lock the Mars down, and it seems like once again Nevermind is barely going to survive with his life intact. Problem is he only has a Tango. He's going to be handed over by Playhard, so it's not like he has the most HP, and Jacroy is going to still secure the kill. No problem as they'll turn on to Playhard now. He will disrupt it, he will be able to get out, but Jacroy, he'll be very happy with that.
And you have to remember, one of the few heroes buffed up, at least in the cores, has been Troll. His base attack time has been reduced on melee form, so that does stack up. Playing with your Fervor once those stacks are up means even more attacks coming through in a short period, so a pretty good buff for the Troll. We're not seeing the full effect of it yet, but just that slight faster swing is giving you more openings to kind of punish Nevermind every time he comes close, and this is a smooth ride for Jacroy so far. Number 2 in net worth, at least number 2 in CS right now, lagging behind Lelouch, but that is the snap mid clearing everything out. You have to be worried about the build-up here. He could go for a number of builds. Diffusal's the big one. Battle Fury could be an option, although not completely necessary against the Morph. You get a lot of value from the Diffusal, but you know, you could also go for the Maelstrom. So lots of varied build-ups for Jacroy, and he is kind of set to get any single one of those really quick here.
Yeah, I think the Diffusal Blade, like you mentioned, John, probably the best option you can go for here against the draft of Polaris, but in Jacroy not making his mind up yet. Won't queue anything on the Troll. We'll wait a little bit before he does get moving with the itemization. I think Diffusal Blade against Morph, you drain all his mana. Obviously the inhibit is what it's called now. Obviously very annoying as well against the draft that Polaris has, and it doesn't feel like you really want to play the farm game anyway. But against the Morphling, you'd probably rather not. I think you are still going to have much better scaling here for Natsumi as you get later onto the game. So I don't really believe you want to play the farming game as the Troll.
Just kind of look for that early momentum, try to stop Natsumi from becoming this massive hero. Speaking of Natsumi, despite some of that earlier trades, he is still having a bit of a rough time top. 18 CS to his name, lagging a bit behind in comparison to our Troll. He needs a lot of time to build up in that Morphling. You know, you're going to need the Yasha. He's going to go for the casual Morbid Mask to farm the jungle. Kind of has a good path to get that done, but not many stacks built up on the top, so he's going to have to play on bot, and you already have really good boards from UK to at least block the Ancients. Large camp scouted out as well. With a Conquer, they could clear that down the line here.
Yeah. Just waiting for that Morbid Mask on Natsumi before he can really just go back to the jungle and ignore Delol with all this sapping away of the damage. Another 72 damage taken here by Delol. Just needs that Morbid Mask. Still quite a bit away from it though, so he's kind of stuck in the top lane for now. On the other hand, obviously, Jacroy is having a very good time. Still hasn't queued up his next item though. Does end up going for the treads rather than the phase boots, so maybe he is going to go for the greedier build-up. Could see the Maelstrom or Battle Fury coming out now that he does have the treads up. Still don't think it's the greatest idea, but I guess considering the lane he's had, maybe he feels like he can afford it. We'll see. I mean, they haven't really moved too much across the map yet. It seems like Lelouch in the mid lane just focusing on the jungle now. Not too stressed about trying to rotate with those Mortimer's Kisses. Trying to avoid laning against the Kunkka, and is still staying ahead of Mamang Dai in terms of net worth. So it's still a very good time for both teams. Just seems like nobody's willing to rotate quite yet. Though as I say that, top lane, LYM, gonna see Lelouch and Xavius walk right by, trying to move in onto the Lol, who maybe hasn't realized yet. Look, he's gonna be there. Lelouch is being targeted here by LYM, so he can't go for the Kisses, and Xavius, he's gonna be the one to go down as Lelouch is forced to TP back out. He just never got the Kisses off.
A little bit of an awkward angle. They had a really good ward to watch.
Natsumi. Well, he's gonna roll in. It'll be okay. Won't be able to focus down the Morph quite yet with that the amount of stats he can shift, but they are certainly applying that pressure. Natsumi not feeling very safe at all at the top lane, but is going to remain at least for now. Meanwhile, mid lane.
Did lose out. He wants to have new stacks.
Oh, very nice Tumbler's Toy from Mamang Daya. There's your Mortimer's Kisses being completely wasted here on the Kunkka. That Tumbler's Toy, John, you can never underestimate how valuable it can be in the right circumstances.
Xavius?
Yeah, Mamang Daya.
Toy?
It's such a great item, honestly. Xavius, he's going to get caught out. Boat's going to fly in. Mamang Daya is still in trouble. Lelouch with a very nice cookie, but misses the Scatter Blast on the Kunkka. They'll try onto LYM instead. He'll try for a Roshan Deny himself, but won't get it. Natsumi will take the kill. You missed the Scatter Blast and the Kunkka, and that just means Mamang Daya was able to run his way out, though he is still farming the triangle, but they are not able to catch him. No level 6 available on Xavius yet. Means they can't close the gap. Instead, Polaris will try and take the stacks being taken. They even try to catch UK, but he's going to be just fine. Delol now going to rotate through, but there is going to be a TP out from Lelouch. Instead, it's onto the supports as LYM sets up very nicely. Xavius, he's the one to drop as now the chase is on for Play Hard, but they don't have another ball to smash. They can't slow him down any longer. And so they do at least find the clockwork, but that's about all they're going to find.
Yeah, not the biggest kill. They do manage to steal away some of those stacks as well from Mamang Daya, but he already stole the large stacks on the Dire Trine. So it's kind of a trade-off for both sides. Still looking like a strong start for Patriots. 4-2, less than 1k, or around 1k lead for Patriots. They are giving a lot of room for Jacroy. It is the Maelstrom build-up, as mentioned, for our Troll. So just wants to have a little bit of that farm acceleration on hand. Again, you're playing in with your higher base attack time, or lower base attack time on melee form, so there's a lot of value in that Maelstrom now. Getting more chances to proc through with your higher, slightly better attack animation coming through. Whereas in comparison, Natsumi's trying to work the jungle, does have the Morbid Mask, but he's not being left alone. UK just shows up, just soaks away some of the EXP, tries to steal a couple of creeps, and lets him know that he's not alone in the jungle. Will still be able to farm. No one's there to back him up, but...
One of us kisses out. Jacroy, he's kind of trapped up here with the cogs. He does pop the battle trance to survive. In fact, now Lelouch gonna get caught, but for how long? He can turn with the scatter blast shortly, but Jacroy, he's still going. Lelouch does manage to find the kill, and now LYM. Maybe he's gone too far. He will be able to walk away. He's still chasing down the Snapfire, but Lelouch is still alive, just bottling up as now LYM has to run. Does have the haste rune though. Is going to be okay to roll out and surely TP away. Lelouch, though, is chasing, but no cookie available. Not going to be able to go for the TP cancellation. Though does still try with the blind cookie. The Earth Spirit is still out. So you'll be very satisfied with just killing off Jacroy like that. And well, if you trap him in the cogs, it's not too hard.
Yeah, kind of got a bit lost there. He did manage to get the last bit of mana for the battle trance. Couldn't manage to stand around to try and lifesteal off of it. So a nice kill coming out for the side of Polaris. They are lining up top. The low.
That is there. Natsumi is going to follow up. Link is out onto the low as he's going to try to run, but surely no way out. Natsumi, he'll have plenty of damage. Third kill here for the Morphling. Currently on a killing spree now. 3-0-0. I'll tell you, it's considering the lane he had, Natsumi, he's done a really darn good job. Second in net worth, just not falling behind whatsoever.
He got that space out in the jungle. Again, UK was scouting around, but he had no backup to try and punish. And he's just been given a lot of room by his team to get that build-up. Going into the Dragonlance, almost has that up and running. And still a ways to go in farming. You know, the Morphling does need quite a fair bit of itemization, but you are on a good road to get that done. The side of Patriots, it feels like it's their team that needs to play a little bit fast here. They're trying to get into that BKB now for Mamang Daya, has the face boots and double bracers. So he's feeling fairly durable. You can start playing around with that burst potential they've got and the teamfight control the Ghost Ship gives them. But I think they're just lacking play. Like, it's only the Kunkka that can really start going now. Your Razor's not quite ready. The Lull has to farm up along with Jacroy. You don't really have anyone to connect with the Kunkka outside of the supports, and even out of those supports, it's only really the Earth Spirit that can help you out there.
Yes, going for a bit of a dig mid-X back, and Mamang Daya is going to catch him off. Into the mid-tier 1 tower they go. Mamang Daya, he'll get started, but the glyph is going to be forced out. Easy glyph there from Polaris, and that's going to stop the tier 1 tower push coming in. Very slow game though, all things being said and done. 6-5, 12.5 minutes in. There's your Maelstrom pick up on Jacroy to boot, so he does go down the farming route. Not opting for the Diffusal Blade, and again, I don't know if I agree with that. I feel like Natsumi is going to have a very good time scaling above the Troll. Yeah,
I mean, you can scale above the Troll. I think the Troll should be able to keep at least farm parity with the Maelstrom up there, so it's not going to be too bad for Jacroy in terms of getting that same item build up. But you have to find some pressure onto that Morph. A bit of a smoke down bot here from the side of Patriots, looking for a move.
Play hard. Doesn't go disruption yet. In fact, he's just probably screwed as Fairy Fire. Not going to last long enough. Lelouch now being chased. That's a big pick off. Mamang Daya, he will take it. Nevermind's going to rotate. They'll at least find the lull, but it's going to cost them 2 heroes for that. One of them being the mid-snapfire. Not great news at all for Polaris.
And that's a worrying sign. The mid-snapfire is a very tempo-sensitive hero. You know, if it starts to lag behind, the blink, the BKB doesn't come out in time, the shard doesn't come out in time, it feels like it doesn't have much presence unless you just play around kisses, but the downtime of those kisses are fairly long. Polaris will try to smoke up top. They know there was a little bit of a push. JaCroix all by himself here.
Boy, big arena, never mind, landing a very nice spear. They do have battle trance, I believe. JaCroix going to get it off just in the nick of time, but how do you actually survive? Xavier's going to be there with the battery assault, and JaCroix, he just can't do anything. Another great initiation by Polaris. That's one of the beauties of Clockwork against Troll, John. We talked about this during the drafting phase.
Natsumi?
Oh, never mind. Natsumi's going to drop. Not great. I mean, you just picked off the Troll Warlord, but then you end up losing your Morphling anyway.
Yeah, and that makes it a little bit more even. It stings to lose JaCroix. It feels even worse to lose Natsumi, because your Morphling, again, you're trying to give all this time for the Morphling to get big. Every single time that's stalled out, it just doesn't feel great. You don't have farming items up on Morphling. You don't tend to go for those farming items as well. So JaCroix's always got a little bit of an edge when he does dip back to the lane, dip back to the jungle. With a Maelstrom, just a few procs helps him clear out those camps. Polaris, they do have that blink ready, and never mind. You know, they're going to have Arena in about half a minute. And they're going to have Kisses in about a minute. So that's going to be the timing to play for. Just keep playing around these big ults. Keep looking for the pickoffs. Patriots are not going to drag in their troll, so it's either you force a 4v4 or hunt the troll down. Either way looks pretty good for Polaris.
Davius, hook shot in, the low, first target, Spear, gonna lock him down. Natsumi with the plasma field, gonna try and help out. The lull though, still going, gonna go for the static link out. Davius, the one dropping low, UK, he just kept him alive with the life train the whole time. Arena though, is gonna lock him down, and this time, they will find the Razor. Goes to show how powerful Pugna is right now with how long they kept the lull alive. Never mind. Not gonna cop the roll. LYM kind of messed up with the stone there. It won't matter though. He got the vision, and that'll be more than enough for MLPDotA to finish off the kill.
And that's a bit of a bigger one. Evens out the trade with a Razor, going for the off-lane kill plus the support, and that gives MLPDotA his BKB time. So he's got the spell immunity on hand. He's going to be comfier to show up in the middle of these fights, get more aggressive boats out in a larger group, and start to buff up his team. And you're also succeeding here in buying space out for JaCroix, just playing in his triangle now, not dipping too far off the map. Same thing goes for Natsumi though. Still playing in his own triangle, but the farm process for Natsumi just feels a lot slower. It's just not as quick. You don't have the greatest way of clearing out camps, with say, in comparison to the Maelstrom here from JaCroix. So you will lag a bit behind, and that is concerning. JaCroix, once he gets that BKB, he's also going to be willing to show up to these fights at that point.
Big smoke up. Patriots going to move as 3. Who do they find? Natsumi. He'd be a great target if they could find him again. They are going to miss out though. Natsumi actually walking towards that jungle, but LYM has spotted him out now. MLPDotA, he's got his eyes set though on Lelouch, or maybe even play hard on that Shadow Demon, but they've caught nobody yet. LYM, he'll roll forward, but Lelouch is out of there. They can't catch anyone yet. Patriots. Big rotation, but nothing comes out of it. That'd be great news for Polaris as, well, Patriots, this is a great power spike for them now during this game, and it just doesn't seem like they're able to find themselves a victim.
Just unfortunate. Lelouch did have that Invis rune bottled up. Does manage to pop it and escape in time. No detection on the side of Patriots, so they miss out on that opportunity. They have a chance to maybe shove in mid, take control of that top jungle, but their push is really just on Pugna, and UK again has gone for the max Nether Ward and the Decrep, so not the best points to go for the slow siege. They will catch up, never mind.
They will, never mind. They get caught in the boat, into the turret, and the roll, and that's a lot of damage, never mind. Not having the greatest game in the Mars this time around is going to drop as the LOL does take it.
You are dead.
Polaris, they just don't seem to have the means to be able to fight back yet. It might go back to the mid-snapfire, to be fair, though. Like, Lelouch, he hasn't been that active. He's 1-1-4 right now. And so you're not really creating the greatest space here for Natsumi. Not yet, anyway.
you really just want to play with Arena Kisses. I feel like the Snap and the Mars should be hooking up much closer here together and syncing up their movement. Look for those plays with the Arena. When we do see the combination fly out, it looks really, really strong. They managed to kill Jacroy a few times for that, and you don't have that same teamfight presence out from Patriots. They only really have the boat arguably magnetized as well, but it just isn't the same area of effect as you do have on Polaris. Still a bit of a clump up mid. Looking like pinks were coming out for Roshan. Jacroy with a BKB does want to clear this out. It is still a troll. Not the safest time to do so. Xavius does have the flare to constantly scout as well, so it can be tough.
Xavius. He caught. Nice Arena. Never mind. He's in with a 3-man Arena. Into the Mortimer's Kisses. UK should drop and does on the Pugner. In fact, Jacroy dropping quite low. Does pop his BKB and does go for the Battle Trance onto the Mars, but he can't get a nice ensnare off. Jacroy, he's gone too deep. He's just going to drop here on the Troll. No good whatsoever. As they lose, he's going to find Mamang Daya. Konka goes down. And Roshan is getting started, it seems. As Polaris, they are going to leave the LOL to be. They don't care for the Razor. They want Roshan, and they should be able to happily take it. I don't see any kind of steal attempt coming in from LYM anytime soon.
It's a bit awkward. It feels like Patriots aren't syncing up on what they want to do in these fights. They try to chase down Xavius. They get caught out by Nevermind with a good Arena coming out from him. And then just the BKB use is not lining up. Jacroy pops his BKB and then pops Battle Trance to try to life steal instead of run. Gets punished for going too deep. Whereas Mamang Daya never pops his BKB, wants to back off, but is forced to kind of stay around because his troll was just running up. So not quite synced up there on the side of Patriots, and now you've got that secondary life up on Polaris. Natsumi working onto his own BKB, very close to that. The Morphling's going to be in fighting form once that's up. We've seen Natsumi make the consistent choice of just turning into the lull. And you turn into Razor, you get Static Link, you have a pretty good time here on the Morphling. You get so much more damage, turn back into your base form, and you have a great time there. So have to watch out. There's a DD up on Lelouch as well. Does pop it just to clear out the siege creep. Not going to be really playing with big hits yet. Patriots will go for the smoke play though. I believe that might have been on the edge of the ward. One of them might have been right inside that ward vision, so that should give Polaris the info to back off.
And it does. Never mind, he goes back in. He'll go for a TP play out. Do they have a stun? Not quite. Never mind, I mean, playing with fire, but he gets away with it. Now Polaris, they're going to set up. Top tier 2 tower. Be attempted. Who have they got? Down towards the south. Play hard. He's going to get caught. It's a great start for Patriots.
Is a great conductor.
Can they really move into the top tier 2 though? It seems a little bit more difficult. Even without the Shadow Demon around. There is going to be a 4-man smoke here from Polaris trying to find an angle into a fight. Hookshot will be there. They want the Pugner first. Now Arena down with the Mortimer's Kisses, but Mamang Daya pops his BKB instead the LOL. He's going to be targeted on the Razor. Nice double kill out. They'll give all of it to Natsumi. They don't end up losing the Aegis, and well, they don't really end up losing anyone.
And they lose a Shadow Demon, but again, it's not the biggest skill in the world for Patriots to find. And now Polaris are starting to rack it up. Got issues holding down this Morphling when the BKB flies on. You have massive teamfight presence from Polaris with Arena and Kisses. And we're just seeing issues with a Troll. Every single time Jacroy is just kited around, despite having that BKB, he doesn't have the greatest damage output in the world. Even with his improved base attack time, if you can't get on top of the heroes, then it's really not worth much. And it just feels like Patriots is not as connected as a team in comparison to the side of Polaris, who've been making great moves as 4, as 5, getting Natsumi in and out of these engagements, and just build up. 13-13, rather close. 2k lead for the side of Polaris. Not massive, but just look at how the map's playing out here. Look at all the sentries here from Polaris to ensure there's no vision. They've got no big wards of their own. They have a nice river ward that is set to expire, so the map is getting a bit dark, but they're ensuring it's also just as dark for Patriots, not allowing them to play aggressive here.
Play hard, top lane. Kind of baiting for his team right now. LYM rolls in, but he's way off the mark. Disruption will set up. Here comes the cavalry. Xavius, he'll chase down Jacroy. They've already got LYM down, and look at Xavius. He'll fly right over. Cogs is there, holding down the troll. Meanwhile, to the side, they catch UK on the Pugner. Jacroy, he's gonna BKB and run. Oh, he's gonna die to the purge as the hook shot. Not gonna land. Doesn't even get the battle trance off that time.
Yeah, it's getting pretty dicey for the side of Patriots. Polaris just constantly finding them de-grouped in a position where you can't just go for the pickoffs. And they're just getting bigger. After a bit of a slow start, Lelouch is starting to show up, has his BKB, has his shard flying out, and he is going to hit level 20 eventually. So you can just go for the right clicks there as well. Mamangdaya was just clearing out bot, not even joining his team, but he does get dusted up here.
Mamangdaya for a bit of a cheeky swipe onto the clockwork, but not going to lead to much. He's just not feeling good about himself right now in this Kunkka. He's still second in net worth, but it just hasn't meant much. Because you're running with this POS 1 that again, like Pro Warlord, it doesn't feel very good right now in the meta. See how easy it is to kind of kite him around. Maybe once he has that Eye of Skadi up, things could get a little bit easier, but well, quite frankly, Natsumi hasn't felt threatened in quite a while now, as he'll at least deny off the mid-tier 1. Jacroy is going to try and threaten with his own body, but they'll just back off. No stress here for Polaris. In fact, they might go for a smoke now. They are quite grouped up. They've still got 15 seconds on the Aegis, so they might just wait for the Aegis to expire first before trying to move in. Now, if anything, Patriots should be the one smoking right now, knowing the Aegis is about to expire. But it is going to be Polaris that smoke first. What do they find? Nice scan out. LYM going to break the smoke. They are still moving in. They're looking for the troll. They're going to find UK on the Pugna. Which one do you want? There's your hook shot in Xavier's. That's a great cogs out. He pushes Jacroy back as well. Kill two birds with one stone. Jacroy is still running towards the fountain. He'll chase down the clockwork. Meanwhile, towards the north, who have they got? They got Mamangdaya on the Kunkka. He's just dead. Natsumi, he'll chase down the Lol on the Razor. It's no problem. With all the damage being sapped away, they should still have enough to eventually get the Razor, surely. But they will waveform the wrong way. The Lol gonna go for a TP out and will make it. So overall, not too bad for Patriots. It ended up being a 2 for 2, but to be fair to them, John, it still kind of feels like had the team fight been a little bit more grouped up, it would have just gone back the way of Polaris.
Yeah, I mean, they find some decent punishment. They kill off Natsumi in exchange for losing... they kill off Lelouch in exchange for losing Mamangdaya, so it's a mid-trade, but it is worrying to see how big Natsumi is and how easy it is to handle Jacroy. The troll is just not able to do much with the BKB, doesn't see any good opportunities for the battle trance. Patriots aren't the ones starting these fights, and that's where the issue lies. They can't afford to counterfight with Arena and the cogs. There's so much area denial here from Polaris, so many ways to ensure that Jacroy just can't get on top of the heroes he wants to be on. And it needs to be Patriots to go first. They need to play with the roll, they need to play with the X-Boat, try to just look for that team fight their own way, and give that opportunity over to Jacroy. Otherwise, Polaris is just constantly able to kite you around. And the troll just runs around chasing nothing. He pops BKB, nothing happens. He pops Battle Trance, he dies. So you've got to find a way to, again, start these fights on your own terms.
Patriots, they don't realize that Xavius has got full vision. He'll go for a fly around. Cogs are there. Mortimer's Kiss is to be expended. Delol, he does have BKB, but he's not going to pop it. Oh, UK goes down to boot. That's a double kill for Natsumi. Delol, I mean, what were you going to do, I guess? Pop the BKB and die anyway. He does decide to hold out instead, and it's going to be another 2 kills going to the way of the Dire.
Yeah, it's just piling up. Patriots feels like they're really just trying to buy time for Jacroy to get big and for Mamangdaya to also start to get a little bit more durable. Silver Edge up on our Kunkka. AC next, so he does do a lot of good damage with that Tidebringer if he can kind of get that crit off every single time. But you have to find a way to use that, because we just haven't seen the angles coming through from Patriots. Polaris just going on to the tier 2, no one to stop them. Might be a bit risky going to the high ground, but if they find a pick-off, they could give that a shot if they wished.
Never mind. He might find Mamangdaya. He does see him, but he's not going to make the initiation. So, I mean, they seem more than happy. Natsumi almost onto that Eye of Skadi timing now. May opt for the Satanic instead, but no, he wants the Eye of Skadi first. In very effective against the troll. Just make it even harder for him to get anywhere near you. Polaris, so confident in this game 1 now. Still just a 5k net worth lead, but they're winning every team fight. They're looking to move in again. Xavius, he'll smoke the team up. And props to Xavius as well, John. I mean, I've really appreciated the way he's been using that jetpack to set up every single time. So they might find UK, play hard, gonna have his smoke broken. Natsumi will have the same. Delol is gonna be spotted, but never mind. He does find the Pugner instead as UK. He's gonna survive a little bit longer, but the chase is on. They will take him down. Godlike now for Natsumi. It's MLPDotA. Gonna at least find a way to clear out that creep wave. Oh, and a very nice scan out, Jacroy. They know exactly where he's gone. Nevermind will move in. Arena is available. Jacroy, he's trapped up. He'll go for the BKB, but how do you get out of this? He's got the TP. Oh, but the hook shot! They use the courier! They get the vision with the courier, and they get the hook shot off. That sucks.
Yeah.
It just sucks for the troll at least.
Oh man, I mean, I don't think that was on purpose. Natsumi just had his courier on standby for the point booster of the Scotty. It still manages to net them a kill. Like, you're not even able to get the build up here for Jacroy, and your troll is massively behind a Morphling. 5k behind now. Natsumi set to have that Scotty timing, as you mentioned. Courier's gonna be able to fly it out for him. Just more issues for the troll, and I just don't see any relief for this hero. Like, there wasn't really timing to hit. It did feel like your call for the defusal might have been a lot better here, Mike. Just play aggressive, go with your team, inhibit out someone, and chase them down and get the mana burn off. But going for this Maelstrom, going for the farm game, Jacroy's been caught out way too many times, and now the Roshan's open for Polaris. Goes straight into it. Roshan number 2 with a free shard. They've already got the Ags up on play hard as well. Might as well give him shard as well for the demonic cleanse. We'll see if he's going to be the priority, but it feels like it ought to be. So we'll get a lot of value, and these fights just feel possible to take now. Xavius is constantly scouting out, as you mentioned, using that jetpack to just always be a flying ward.
Yep, found the Pugner again. UK, he just can't catch a break. Mortimer's Kisses not reaching, but they'll get the Yule Scepter. Xavier's still in big troubles. Nevermind, gonna move in with the Arena. It's not only gonna take out the Pugner, it trapped up the Razor. They'll have to BKB TP out, but the fight does continue. MLPDotA gonna run out of BKB timing very soon as they've got the Pugner down. They've got LYM down, they've got MLPDotA down. Buyback's coming out. It's not looking great for them. That'll help Polaris just walk out and reset. There's no need for them to force this fight. With 2 massive buybacks here. Patriots backs against the wall. Polaris, again, they can just reset and come back. No stress.
They've got the Aegis for a lot of time here. Still 4 minutes on it. Still very fresh. Scotty up on Natsumi. UK kind of giving his thoughts on this game. It's a tough game for Patriots as...
Oh, it's a lull. No BKB this time. Xavius, he's been too good with setting up. Jacroy. It's okay, they're not going to have the cogs to trap him up. Props to Xavius. It's a great clockwork performance this game so far. They're going to spot out UK just in the nick of time. UK already prepping for the initiation, and he's gone. No survival. No chance. It's very rare you see this jetpack be that effective. Xavius is making it look very, very strong.
It's the flying vision. It's him willing to put his body forward. It's him knowing that his team will back him up if he sees that opportunity. And it's just coordination of players that are enabling themselves to play around that clockwork so well. Again, in comparison to Patriots, it just feels very disconnected. They get the scan off onto Jacroy. They know where he's hiding here in the trees.
Jacroy, don't go that way, sir. One of his kisses. Ooh. No, they found him. They know. He's going to try and get out with the BKB. He's just not going to make it. Oh, it's just so depressing to watch, John. It's troll. You know, this hero just doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's some games where it can look good. This was one of the tougher games to make that happen. And Jacroy's just... he's not able to do much. He gets kited around. He pops his battle trance. No kill. No damage. His team hasn't been able to coordinate around him very well. Like, he pops Battle Trance, everyone's already on the back foot, and it just kind of falls apart. Polaris with a 16k lead does feel like it's their game to win now at this point. They've got this massive advantage, and never mind on a bit of a chase, but just threatening MLPDotA.
He's going to be just fine. Down through the bot lane they go. Jacroy, he does have buyback. That's good news at least. In fact, never mind, he just spent his gold. He does not have buyback. Here we go. UK getting trapped up. Why would you buy when you had buyback gold? Natsumi just going to dive right through. MLPDotA in trouble. There's Nevermind with a big arena out and the spear. They'll try to life drain. It's not going to be enough. Into the fountain, they'll send the Morphling, but he is not dying. Natsumi, he'll just walk out of there. As Jacroy now has respawned, but they're going to get stunned up. LYM's gone. Jacroy still trying, but disruption is there from Play Hard as Natsumi still holding on for the Aegis. Will go for the man fight. Jacroy, it's an early battle trance. A very early battle trance. They are still trying to fight this one out. Natsumi, who does he want? There's your spear onto the troll, locking him down. Jacroy, I don't think he can afford to die right now, but he doesn't have a choice in the matter. He'll go for the fight once again. Natsumi gonna back off, back on MLPDotA. It doesn't seem like Natsumi feels safe either. He won't keep fighting the troll, not one-on-one like that. MLPDotA still looking for a catch. He's gonna go onto the X with the Morphling. Natsumi will move in, but the boat is going to be there. Jacroy will move in again, but a nice spear, never mind. Going to lock him down with the follow-up adaptive strike, and now the cavalry is incoming. Lelouch, just a little shredder, but the hook shot. Xavius, almost there, but not quite. Oh, they've got this great observer ward, John. Right behind the tier 3 tower. It's giving all the vision of the world. Here we go again, Lelouch. He'll miss the scatter blast. Static link out from Delol. Jacroy in the meantime. Again onto Natsumi. Wants the Morphling. He's dropping too low. Battle Trance will be there, but the Decrepify not going to let him attack. He's just standing there. Now he can go for the attack, but it's too late. Natsumi, he'll go for the man fight. No buybacks available. That might be it. MLPDotA, well, he'll get Nevermind. That's one. Can they deal with Natsumi, though? It seems like the answer's going to be no. They are going to try, lock him down, disruption and cleanse, and now Xavius back in onto LYM. That's going to be the Earth Spirit gone. Natsumi, he'll go onto the Razor now. How do you get away from this? The answer is you probably don't. They'll just keep going. Natsumi takes him down. Delol's out onto the Kunkka. MLPDotA, it's a full team wipe, and the GG's finally been called.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Unfortunate here for Patriots, but Polaris Esports just looking too good for game number 1.
Yeah, they come out on top in a big way. They have confidence in the Natsumi Morphling. For Patriots, it's just we didn't see that aggression we had to see out of them early on, right? Like, they had this really aggressive combination with the Kunkka coming through on mid with the Earth Spirit. They didn't really play around the fact that they could have maybe bullied the Snapfire a lot earlier, get some rotations in with the Earth Spirit, try to lock in that jungle much faster. And Natsumi just had all the space in the world to farm up. He just managed to build up. Jacroy went for the Maelstrom, which wasn't too bad by itself, but he didn't get the same space. He was trying to work top. He got caught off multiple times. Tried to go in that Roche fight a bit earlier on by the ramp. With the arena coming through from Nevermind, popped his BKB, popped Battle Trance, and just died. And that's something we saw from the Troll multiple times. Just constantly kited around. Polaris just with the area denial they had with Arena and Cogs, managing to make that look like a non-hero. So I think Patriots will have to go back to the drawing board, kind of solve their issues there. I think one issue as well for Patriots is that they had the offlane Razor come through here, and the Lol couldn't really do anything. Like, he was having a decent lane against Natsumi, but beyond that, he couldn't really contribute in team fights. Like, there was maybe an X static link combination with chain stuns following off from that, but all your playmaking was stuck on Kunkka and Earth Spirit, and they just didn't have as much area impact as you would have from the Mars Snapfire and even the Clockwork. So we'll see what the change is for Patriots in the next game. Polaris, again, there were some doubts coming in to groups in their first series where it looked a bit rocky, would play hard and Nevermind in. Ever since then, it's just been looking good. It's no exception here, Mike.
Thank you for that, Jonathan. We are going to head off to, of course, a short 10-minute break, but right after that break, we'll be back with Game 2 between Patriots and Polaris Esports. We'll see you then.